Let's go. Let's get this hype train to 100. Level 50 hype train or the stream doesn't start. Who cares if we've got jobs now? We still want your money. You can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime. You've got Amazon Prime. I know you don't go to the store. It's too difficult to make human interaction with the person working the desk. Look into your heart. You know it to be true.
What's easier for you on my phone, vertical or horizontal?
Horizontal. What are we, on TikTok?
That's Zoomy.
Sorry, I'm doing the opposite. Look at my dog.
They can't see. Save the dog. Save the dog. No, they can see you. Well, they can't see anybody. Because we're not live yet. We're milking them. We're milking the cows. Paragon Creed, thank you for the gift subs. Dijak almost arrived.
Did he coon?
He's gonna. Chi-Town Sama, thank you for subscribing with Amazon Prime. Hope to see you on Friday. I assume Chi-Town represents Chicago.
Chi-Town, stand up.
Chi-Town, wait.
Maybe it's just a very, very shy place to live.
Yeah. Maybe you're just...
incel haven.
Whose ceiling am I looking at? Is that Damo?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I didn't realize we were live yet. Here's my dog.
Boomer ass.
Alright, I'm gonna put the dog and then we'll go live. Keep subscribing though, you pay piggies.
The die and Dijak stands for die job. Look at that motherfucker.
You look like Kevin Nash when he came back to WWE. You look like Big Sexy.
That's you, I think. Wasn't crazy.
Oh no! Hold on.
It looks relatively normal. Like look at this is where it's all from.
Brennan, are we on video?
Yeah, hold on, but we're not. It's all messed up because nobody showed up on time.
Always blaming
us.
It's our fault. It's our fault. I'm sorry.
And I don't know why it won't let me stop streaming. Stop streaming. Okay, I think it. Did that fix it? No, it's all Dijak. It's all Dijak.
You killed the stream.
What did I do?
No, you didn't do anything wrong. It's just all you. It's 3 screens of Dijak. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Mansoor, do the introductions. Talk about Larry's weeb autograph system.
Why the fuck would I know about that?
Because he texted it to you.
Hey, listen up, guys. It's your boy, Mansoor, one half of MxM, also known as the MxM Collection, world-famous AEW tag team. And I'm here to say that if you subscribe to our stream on twitch.tv/InsideMxM, we have an amazing offer for you. All you got to do is subscribe, and if you're already subscribed, then you've already done the first part. Congrats. Go to the Discord and find the secret subscribe. What, Dijak? You have a problem with me? You want to say something? Huh? I see.
Where's this accent coming from?
What are you yucking it up about over there?
What are you having a huck yuck about?
Don't let me distract you from your fucking promo. Don't let me.
It's not a promo.
Continue selling your peanut medication, please.
All you need to do is be a subscriber to this Twitch channel. And if you go to our Discord, which if you haven't already, please sign up because it's an awesome community of like-minded individuals who support us on our journey. What are you laughing about? You got a problem with me?
Talking about
Why are you
I find
laughing?
you
What's so funny?
because I'm so happy for you and your patrons and your
Patrons.
Patrons.
I
Your
am
patrons?
Patron. I am Patron 9000.
Patrons, simps
it
in
fills me
disguise.
it
Acute
fills me
diarrhea.
with
Thank you for
joy.
subscribing. Magnate. Thank you for subscribing.
It feels did you say king diarrhea?
No, it's
It
acute
feels
diarrhea. It's a very small case of it.
cute diarrhea. So it just poquito. Okay, got it.
Un
Poquito.
poquito.
De poquito.
It fills me with joy to hear you talk so pleasantly about your compadres. It's very enthralling to hear.
It's because we wouldn't be here without you, the people.
The people.
The people.
The
Well, you know
people.
what else is enthralling? When you become our thralls by subscribing to our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/InsideMXM. Just go to our Discord. The invite should be in somewhere. I don't know.
Somewhere below,
Join our Discord.
in theory.
And then go to the members only section after the stream, and our chief Janny, Larry, will post instructions on how to win a signature from the world famous AEW tag team MxM Collection with a special secret message that only you will know, and only you will have the privilege of whether or not you'd like to share it with the world.
Wow,
Wow, that sounds like a
amazing.
great prize.
What a great
It's
deal.
kind of like that
That is-
Wu-Tang Clan album that there's only one copy of.
That only
That
that
is
one
phenomenal.
guy that sells drugs has.
Yep, makes sense.
Boogs.
Do you think it's good?
No,
The Wu-Tang Clan album? No.
no, there's no way.
If it was good, it would have leaked.
Yeah, no, if it was good, they would have sold it for money, like
Somebody would
normal
have.
records.
Yes, somebody would have broken
Instead,
into his house and stole
they
it.
they made it a gimmick because they were like, "Well, this sucks. Let's just make it a gimmick record."
Oh, thank you,
Give them
probably
all
Hunter,
power
for the
peace
gift
out.
subs. Shouldn't you be running Raw right now? Shouldn't you be
No, he's too
running
busy on Twitter.
War? Oh yeah, he probably saw the link on Twitter. Oh yeah, let me throw these guys a couple gift subs. Welcome back, everybody. We're so back. We were busy. We were all over the place and didn't have time to stream. But you know what? We had to come back to streaming because it's what got. Yeah, we had to arrive back. And yeah, so we're here to just talk, have a good time, and update you on the world that we see on a day-to-day basis. Dijak, how you been? Last time you were on the stream, you were fired.
Fired.
Well, let's
Oh well.
except
Well,
fired. I was never really
my contract was actually
Actually,
not
I
renewed.
it had to be renewed.
wasn't extended. It wasn't renewed.
It wasn't renewed, which means they stopped paying me immediately instead of owing
I had to
me
lie to my
90
barber
days.
about that. I got my hair cut, and he was like, "Oh, why'd you leave WWE?" I was like, "Oh, well, I just looking for a change,
My barber conversation. Which
You tried to
I always
big time your barber?
Well, I was gonna
It's
tell my
always-
barber I got fired. Like I needed sympathy from my fucking barber. He was giving me a $20 haircut.
for whatever reason, when you're a wrestler, it's always the fucking barber. That's like one of
Tom
the
Videogre, thank
the
you for this
multitude of
gift sub.
people that you end up having to explain that you're a
Like nobody here believes that you've seen a barber in like 10 years.
Well, that's. I mean,
No,
it's
he's got to
still
get
actual
that.
hair.
He's got to get that white boy fade.
And I totally understand.
Yeah, what is there a cut? Isn't it just like a finite amount of hair that'll just never grow because it's from your ass or whatever?
No, but he'll have a couple of sprays that are like still natural, and he has to get like the cuticle scissors to like.
Boy, I'd love to talk on the stream if someone would fucking let me. Since I'm volunteering my fucking time to be here.
For me, I mean, because a barber is somebody that I see every week. Mansoor, I assume. Do you have a barber that you see all the time, or do you just go to like supercuts?
So I did.
Sports
I don't know if
clips.
I should talk. I don't know if I should talk publicly about that.
You don't want to dox your barber?
Like, not haram.
Well, like, have you guys ever had a barber and then, like, for whatever reason, you had to stop seeing him, and then it kind of felt like almost like a breakup?
You broke up with your barber?
Oh,
A little bit.
You dumped your barber.
What did
Kind
you
of
do?
like I feel bad. He was a good guy. He was really cool, but there were 2 like last minute cancellations in a row, and
Well, then it's his fault. Bury him.
like, he's not a bad guy. Like it happens, but I was like, I don't really want.
What kind of barber?
Like,
what kind of barber were you dealing with? Was he like an old Greek man?
No, he wasn't an old Greek man.
I feel like
no.
you would. I feel like. I mean, I just feel like your mom would have you set up.
No, he was
with,
just
like,
a cool guy. He was a
like-
wrestling fan, but he was like cool about it. You know, like he wasn't weird. I was just like, I need to find somebody because I'd get my haircut a day before I go to a show, and if I don't get the haircut, I'm not getting the haircut. So, like, I just need to find more consistent. But like, it was weird. Okay, so I shouldn't say this because this is really mean. But like,
so you're gonna.
so I would go to a different.
Anyway, yeah.
I'd go to a different barber after that happened, and my old barber would DM me saying, like, "Oh, nice cut." I'd be like, "Oh shit."
Oh, you broke up. You ghosted him. You didn't break
Yeah.
up with him. That's the problem.
I felt I was.
you
I
should
don't know
have
how
been
to
a
respond.
man and broke up with him via text.
I don't know. It's kind of like when your ex texts you like, "Oh, you look happy,"
and you don't live up to it. Damn it.
I don't know. I just felt like that made me feel really like bad. So
Is that
I
an
don't know.
owl bear? Miss Kate Fabe, thank you for gifting the subscribers. Our close personal friend. Make sure you follow her over at Fightful, where she talks
Hey.
about us after Ring of Honor every
Hey.
week.
Kate's great. Kate, thank you. But I want to say to everybody: is there anyone in the chat who's a real one that remembers this?
Oh, is that a reference to the owl bear?
Anybody remember this? Any real ones in the chat? Any OGs? Pre-firing?
It wasn't even that. Yeah, that was pre-firing, but it's not like
We talk about the firing like the shattering.
the shattering.
Before the firing.
The shattering of the Elden Ring.
Before the firing was the Baldur's Gate streams that was watched by 50 people.
What's if the firing is our shattering, who is everybody? Dijak is Mesmer, who was left in the old world.
And then he was abandoned by the very covenant.
By his mother.
Obviously, Damo is Radon, I think.
Oh yeah, that puts him over big.
Yeah,
because he's got red hair, right?
Yeah, because he's got red hair. Or he's the fire giant.
He is the fire giant.
Yeah, I think Damo's the fire giant
because he's some old enemy.
I think Shane. God, maybe Shane's Godric.
Shane is maybe he's Godwin because nobody actually ever saw his face.
Yeah, okay, because his soul died, but not his body. He's just a husk.
Yeah.
And then I feel like me and you. I feel like we're Melania and Mikola.
I'll take that. I get to. Oh, I don't know who I want to be more in that scenario.
I feel you're Melania.
I'm Melania? Okay.
Because here's why. Because all the shit that happened to Melania happened because of Mikola, right?
Oh yeah. So I was made to suffer because of your little twink femboy troubles.
In my aspirations for a perfect world, and I'm going to entrap some predator.
Who's Moog? Who's the Moog in this situation?
Moog? Hard to tell. I wish I could look at chat right now, but my computer's. I'm at my new house. My computer's not set up. So Brennan, if somebody says something,
turn up audio on who? The boys? I can do that.
Yeah, see, that's why you got to read the chat, Brennan.
I did. I just read
the chat.
Read the chat. I turned up the audio.
I was always the guy who read the chat. I need you to read the chat. The whole point why they're here.
Damo, did you play the Elden Ring DLC yet? No?
No, I didn't. I was so bad at the game. Like, embarrassingly bad. I enjoyed it.
It's really hard.
I couldn't go. I really hate going back to DLC games because there's too much time in between.
I really want to talk to Dijak about it. Dijak, you ready for our Elden Ring talk?
He's
Dijak in our group
he's a
chat
bird.
has almost nailed at least half of the lore by
I
accident.
want the chat. I want chat to experience this. Dijak, are you here?
Yeah, no, he's left. He's a bird.
He left. Fuck. There's a really funny thing that happens in the group chat where when we talk about Elden Ring, Dijak goes, "Yeah, I thought it was really strange that the incantation of iridescence didn't really work on that boss. But I have to say, when I respec into an oil-based build, it really was more
So
effective."
there's a bit of a backstory to this, right? So Dijak gets really hot when we're not talking wrestling or
When
any
we're not
substance
talking
in the
about
physical.
we're not complaining endlessly about the wrestling
Yeah.
business.
So like if Shane and I are watching a show and we talk about it in the chat, he gets mad at that. Or when the boys play a game, he gets mad at that. But four of us all playing Elden Ring at the same time, and he got really upset about it.
We'll
So
be talking
fast
about
forward like a
something.
year.
We'll be talking about someone who'll be like, "Oh, I know. It took me like 8 tries to beat Gorbeldorf, the Destroyer. I didn't know how to dodge his ultimate attack."
But
Have
he
you
actually got
tried
like
using the
average
flame of
speed, right?
creation? I heard that he was weak to fire
He
damage.
actually would say shit that was like, "Wait, is that real? I don't know."
You
That was like
almost would believe it.
Jack.
I want to find some examples because they were actually pretty good. Hold on.
He was very funny.
Oh, you guys like the latest episode of the Bernami Code, eh? Well, get ready for more of them because we have access to a lot of people who like to play video games with us now.
I'm going to give my dog meds. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Show it on stream.
Yeah, it's really fun, right?
Drug your dog on stream.
Come and get your liver meds. Come on.
Mansoor, everybody is trying to flex their OG-ness. They're talking about different eras that in which they were watching the stream, such as Kane Jeopardy and the Balam era, which was
Balam.
Yeah, you don't remember Balam?
Was that the MMO we played?
That was the what was the game? The
Worlds.com.
Worlds.com.
Where we met that satanic emissary. Yeah,
Yes.
that was awesome.
And he invaded our Discord. I think he's still there somehow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Taiwanese flight attendant? That was pandemic era. That was
pandemic era. That was the best era.
Taiwanese flight attendant.
One of our topics that we just never talked about.
AEW and WWE need to lock in because I really need to see us wrestle. We could have wrestled pretty deadly. We were all there at the same time.
Endlessly. Oh, here we go.
Give us the Dijak from Soft lore.
God damn it, where is it? Did you remember any of them so I can search it? Oh, here we go. We're talking about the Shadow Tree fragments. The Shadow Tree fragments. And Shane's like, I got 49 out of 50. Got to go back through each one today again. And Dijak goes, don't forget to use Electric Summon to avoid getting sidetracked with the sea scrolls of Abantra. The sea scrolls of Abantra. It sounds like an item, a key item that you have to give to a side character to unlock some secret area.
He said something about like Archibald the unknowing, and I was like, wait, is he actually locked in right now?
Zanzibar.
He can legit be a character.
Damn, I wish
he did threaten to actually read about the game.
That would be the greatest rib of all, is if he actually has been playing the game the whole time.
We actually couldn't bully him into doing it.
Dijak is not a hidden gamer. He's we've tried to make him play video games.
I gifted him a Switch with Turok on it.
We're trying to do it for his health. Because if he doesn't get a hobby soon, he's just going to give himself a stroke, spending all of his time on Twitter.
He's so mentally fucked up, this guy. He pays for Wi-Fi on flights.
Oh, I thought you were going to say he pays Fightful.com for scoops.
Well, he does that too. Which should be more evidence that he's not a leaker. Because why the fuck would a leaker have to pay for their own fucking leaks?
What a horrible simp he is that he's paying.
It's paying for the rumors that he's leaking to the company.
Oh, I need to see how they wrote my.
How did
my
they word it?
lyrics.
How'd they word it? Oh, God damn it.
What are you bargaining about? Hey.
What? You sound like you're underwater, Damo.
He's getting dog pilled.
Where the fuck is the plug for this thing, God damn it?
Where are you?
I'm in my new house.
What are you doing?
I'm setting up my computer so I don't have to do this on my phone anymore.
Oh yeah. Chat, have you heard about who's that? What is that video that you asked if I watched Mansoor?
Oh,
smart
Schoolboy 69.
Smart Schoolboy 9.
Yeah.
Have you seen this? Have you heard about this, chat? Mansoor or Damo, have you heard about this Smart Schoolboy 9?
What is
I
this?
have no idea what you're talking about.
You don't know about Smart Schoolboy 9?
School children.
He's
I have not seen this. I have not heard about this.
he's one of your not quite countrymen. He's your continentman, the average British person. He's this really creepy guy that paints his face and possibly wears a mask, and he pretends to be
Is
a
he a what?
boy, a child. I don't know that he's done anything illegal yet, but he posts a bunch of videos online.
Have I been in shows with this guy? Or?
He's not a worker. I don't that we know of.
He's actually the most
described,
prolific trainer in England. He's trained all the greats.
That makes sense. It does make sense. My dog's giving me like proper side eye right now.
Dijak, Mansoor was trying to Mansoor, Dijak's back. Mansoor wants to know your Elden Ring lore, since you're an expert.
Huh.
How he's having trouble on that one boss, the one that you have to go through the gates for. Which boss is that?
Oh, the the potent serpent of Arachnidbor.
That's
so
right.
close.
The potent serpent of Arachnidbor. His second phase is giving me so much trouble.
Trust
Well, is
me,
there
I
like
understand.
is there a special item I need to get to like nullify his
Yeah.
bonus?
So I had to circle back and go through the forest of Windor with the whistling spirits.
Oh
at
yeah,
least
yeah,
3 times. But on the 3rd trip is when I encountered the Flute of Destiny, and if you play the correct tune on the Flute of Destiny, it opens up the chest of treasures
That's
within.
I mean that they just gave up on that one. The name there.
Yeah, well, it.
They can't all be home runs, I guess.
Right.
A little redundant. The
Sometimes
chest of treasure.
it's
What else would be in the
not only,
chest?
once you open the chest of treasures, and of course is the scroll of discomfort. So once you can apply the scroll of discomfort, that's when you're most likely to defeat the boss.
Why did you veer off? You veered off into Elden Ring lore, and it started sounding like hemorrhoid relief.
Well,
you have to go to the CVS, and you have to find the preparation H and apply it to the whole of inflammation.
The dog is not fucking happy about this. Furious.
He's furious that you're just not into the game. You know what I mean?
Chat.
There's 2 dogs.
Dijak, chat wants to pitch new hobbies for you so that you don't die on Twitter. Are you open to that idea?
No, my hobby is my children. That's what I spend
No,
my
that's
time
not a
with.
hobby. That's not a hobby.
I don't need other things to do. I have literally
What are you doing now? If we weren't streaming, what would you be doing right now?
Doom scrolling.
Lifting.
Lifting? You just
lifting. You don't lift. You don't fucking lift,
Yeah,
you
shut
liar.
up, you liar.
You fucking move resistance bands around. That's not lifting. You're not lifting anything.
Annie, you're smaller than me. Like, give me more advice, please, on your weight.
Fuck you, bro.
Measurement.
Fuck you. You look like Giant Baba.
Oh, can I be 180 like you, please, Manny? Manny, one day I want to be
born
100
bigger than me.
pounds. What do you think? I'm
Sorry.
sorry.
Mansoor's dietary tips were the best thing that ever happened to it.
Yeah, should I have more Nutella and peanut butter sandwiches? Is
Yeah,
that
you
what
know
I
what?
should?
Randy Orton's on my diet, and look at him. So fuck you.
Is he?
Apparently, it does
Is
work.
he?
Yes.
He did say he was on the Nutella diet.
He said before he wrestled Gunther, he ate he ate a giant fucking tub of Nutella just so he could get to 290. I'm telling you, it works. You just have to be a genetically gifted 6'7" fucking god of a man.
Yeah, Diablo.
Halfway there.
I'm halfway there.
I might
You
be.
don't have
I
to be
might be.
man in your name. You know what I mean?
Might be missing the genetically gifted.
Well, I'm a man.
Out of a man.
I'm half of 6'7", so
Well,
Randy also
I have genetics.
is a noted Elden Ring player, which has made one of our
Oh,
YouTube
that's
shorts pop off.
He is more based than the average wrestler.
Yeah, we love Randall in this house.
Randall.
Dijak, how do you feel about all of the conversation that's been happening around whether or not Radon, consort of Mikola, is properly tuned, in the sense that people say he's really unfair? What's your take on that, considering all the conversation and debate about difficulty in the Soulsborne series?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what more can I add to the conversation other than I feel strongly. I personally, my own
you just feel strongly.
strategy in regard to this is I think that there needs to be more of an emphasis placed on the fire mountains of Gandor. So
Holy
when
shit! That's actually something. The fire mountains. Holy fuck!
Fire
oh,
mountains. he wants the fire giant lore. He's sick of Radon worship.
Yeah.
He wants more fire giants.
You do want more fire giants.
Yeah.
They look like me.
He wants to know about the Crucible.
Great movie. You told me that the I don't even remember what I said. Fire giants does not seem incredibly creative.
No, it's just he's just the fire giant, and he's just a giant.
Well, okay, sure. Okay, here's the thing, right? He's a fire giant, but he lives in a snowy mountaintop. And that wouldn't necessarily be that creative, except for the fact that the fire giants worship a fire god that lives inside their stomach.
Yeah.
And his stomach is a big eye, and when the eye opens up, that's the eye of the fire god, and it gives him fire powers.
I prefer Dijak's version.
Yeah, Dijak's version is a little better.
So they just straight up ripped off Lord of the Rings.
What was his scroll? The scroll of what? What was Dijak's scroll?
The scroll of discomfort.
No, it was the sea scrolls of Arbordon. Arbordon?
Scroll of discomfort. And the chest of treasure.
Chest of treasures.
Oh god.
There actually is a boss too that is a serpent. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what you said about the serpent.
He said what was it? The preposterous serpent. He's just a silly snake. Such a silly snake.
He's just a
snake. Silly snake. Dumbledore.
It was potent serpent of Arachnabor.
which is like, you think maybe Arachnabor would be somewhere that there's like spiders.
Spiders, yeah.
Right?
No.
But it's an inversion of your expectations, because when you go to Arachnabor, you realize it's actually a caste system where the Arachnabor are ruled by a potent serpent.
Just like the fire giant who lives on the snow-capped mountains.
Exactly, because the fire giants ruled over the ancient warriors of Zamor, who actually use cold attacks and cold spells. But the fire giants were able to subjugate the people of Zamor, because obviously fire melts ice. This is basic Pokemon logic.
Miss Kate Faye, thank you for $2 for Damo's dog. There's two dogs, so it's $1 per dog.
There's two there are two of them. Yeah.
Come I can't watch the stream. I can't see the.
Yeah, it won't work for me either.
What? On Twitch?
Click on your name, and usually I can watch the stream, and it's not there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll
Brennan fucked it up.
Yeah, it'll mess up my the screens that I have, unfortunately.
Oh. Womp womp.
Womp womp.
Sorry. Whoa, easy, Manny.
Why don't we do like we haven't streamed in a while. Why don't we? A lot has happened since we streamed. Why don't we do like a Q&A?
Okay, we can do a
Dijak's
Q&A.
played so much Elden Ring,
Yeah, he's been lost. Yeah. He's been lost. We haven't had time.
Reddit AMA anything about Elden Ring, please. I can.
Yes.
Yeah, chat. We're doing a Q&A, but you can only ask about Elden Ring. Wait, no, this is actually fun. Okay, so chat, ask us a question about Elden Ring, and then we'll answer the question, and Dijak has to determine whether or not it's an actual game. Yeah. Whether we're making shit up or whether it's actually in the game.
Oof. All right.
All right, chat, go.
That is a all fucking task. Does everyone in the chat play Elden Ring? Does anyone not?
Surely everybody played Elden Ring except for you.
If they haven't played Elden Ring, they can just make up a question.
Yeah.
Sure. All right, that's fair too. Yeah, and I have to guess whether that's made up.
Would you let? This is a good question, Dijak. Would you let Melania peg you?
What?
Melania Trump?
No, your favorite character from Elden Ring.
Oh.
Okay, maybe this will help you, Dijak. So Melania is a character who is basically cursed at birth because of the situation of her parents being gods. But the gods were actually split in two. It was actually one god who basically had sex with themselves.
Yeah, she's
to
an
create
incest
this
baby.
cursed child. So she's like diseased. So that has that might affect your answer, but at the same time, she is really hot.
She is. She looks great. She has one arm and one leg.
She's constantly deteriorating due to her sickness.
But she's like 7 feet tall and jacked.
Yeah.
Everything you're saying, I'm guessing, is true about
that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, what's your answer?
That was way too coordinated. No, nobody's pegging me. No.
Oh, nobody?
Nobody.
Sorry.
That's a hard line you're drawing in the sand live on stream.
Yeah.
Instead of he posts in the chat on a regular basis.
Does that cancel me? Because I don't want to be
Wait, Dijak, hold on.
Hey.
Let me ask you something, Dijak.
What?
If you weren't married,
okay,
and you had the opportunity to have sex with the most attractive woman that you have ever seen, whoever that may be, for you.
Don't name names.
But
for your marriage,
as a prerequisite, she has to peg you first. Would you do it?
Without going into too much detail, can you define a pegging for me? I have a general idea, but I need like I need.
She's going to first. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to name who it is, but I just want you to picture this person, right? The most desirable woman.
I'm picturing.
You're picturing who?
His wife.
Other than your wife.
Good answer.
Other than your wife.
Great answer.
Basically, what happens is they put on a harness with a dildo attached. Now, the length of the dildo can be debated. We can talk about that.
Okay, that was one of my primary concerns.
I'm not an unreasonable man, okay? I'm not asking you to. But let's say the average penis.
Which is...
5 inches erect.
Chat buried.
5 inches erect, right?
Chat. Is the chat full of no?
The chat is a wall of no.
For the chat, we'll say 4.
Okay.
4.
Yeah.
The average length of everybody, first time chatter, source.
That's just what I heard. I was friends with the nurse at my middle school, so she told me all the stats after penis inspection day.
Whoa, what?
You guys didn't have.
What
do you mean? What?
We're gonna find that video.
You guys didn't have penis inspection day?
Is this boy genuinely asking us if we had penis inspection day?
Continue to describe the act of pegging, please.
Okay,
on,
so
please.
we're gonna get a 4-inch dildo attached to this person, and they're going to, you know. Well, okay. So here's the question, Brennan: is it too until his prostate is stimulated to the point of orgasm, or is it for a set amount of time?
I feel like it's pregame. It's foreplay.
Okay, so for a minute.
Yeah, just you know, the length of time that you would do any
a minute, but
act.
it starts because you gotta kind of ease it in a little. It starts upon full insertion, not the teasing and the, you know.
Regardless of all these details, I'm going no.
Wow.
Only because
street.
there's no circumstance.
You heard it here first, chat.
Only because what?
I'm gonna try to leave out as many trigger words as I possibly can, but
he's not clean down
there's
there.
No,
he's gonna paintbrush you.
Well, no. There's no situation where this doesn't feel uninvited, and I don't want trauma, like mental trauma. So
you know what? Even if it was somebody that you liked, it would still feel like a transactional deal, and that's not something you want. That's fair.
Good answer. Good answer.
That's a good answer.
Thank you for subscribing, Fun Vasily.
Sex should not be transactional. Well, unless you're a sex worker, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't want to bury that line of work. But in
for
terms
me,
of
I
kind of a whole.
Me personally, I don't see a scenario where this doesn't give me PTSD of some sort, and I'm not sure that that's a trade I'm willing to make.
Anyway, any more Elden Ring questions?
Chat. Next Elden Ring question, please.
We managed to twist that as fucking devastating as possible.
Miss Kate Fabe is definitely not clipping this and sending this to Sean. Okay, that's. I mean, I could have used the headline. I would have really liked to retweet
No way, they would do that. They've done that before. They've done that thing where they.
I would really like to retweet. Dijak would not like to be pegged by Melania, the goddess of Scarlet Rot.
Blade of Mikola.
Blade of Mikola.
Is Melania the name of Trump's wife, or am I imagining?
No, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's a common name in the lands between where she's from.
Jesus.
What?
Where's she actually from?
She's from like Czechoslovakia?
She's from the lands between Russia and Afghanistan.
Oh, she's from like Crimea or like North Macedon or something. One of those. Estonia.
Somebody fact check Brennan on that statement.
What? She's from. I like to hedge. I could hedge my bet on she's from the lens between Russia and Afghanistan. That's a good.
I mean, that's a long.
You think she's from the Balkans? You think she's like Kazakhstan, Kazakh, or like Uzbek?
It could be.
No. It'll be like Estonia or something like that.
No, she's gotta be a white
Jamie,
Russian.
Google this.
Jamie,
hold it up.
Chat, where's Trump's wife from?
Manny, what are you doing? You're so active right now. He's setting up his porn VR like as we speak.
That's what's most important in life.
Like, nothing is night. He's getting his KYG.
She's Slovenian.
He's got a long night of pegging ahead of him.
Slovenia, where's that?
That's surely between Russia and Afghanistan.
Gotta be right.
It's just beside Croatia.
Jamie, look it up.
One of us.
Between Austria and Croatia. It is nowhere near where you thought, Brennan.
Austria and Croatia?
Yeah.
As
Croatia's near Austria?
Yeah.
Next to Italy, so it's kind of like, it's kind of
Jeez.
way more Western than I realized.
That is way more west than I thought.
Okay, we got another Elden Ring question for Dijak. Was Godfrey a cuck, in your opinion?
Okay.
A cuckold.
So
Godfrey,
let's expand on this in a little bit. So listen, Dijak, basically Godfrey's this guy, right? And he's a powerful warrior. He's a barbarian, but the god
You'd
of
love
the
him. He does
lands,
a power bomb.
Queen Marika says, "You're going to be my lord, my king consort." Marries the guy, right? Has to tame his savage ways, makes him royalty. They get kids, and what happens is basically after the guy, he conquers all the lands, she says "fuck off" and sends him to the far, far distant lands for him to never return. And then she marries a different guy who is
Also herself.
who's also the split version of her. So is he a cuck?
That's definitely another take on incest.
So yeah, let's. George R.R. Martin wrote it, so.
For starters,
Exactly what I thought.
I think everything you just said is accurate. I think that
Yeah,
actually
that's right.
happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Correct. It's quite unsettling, actually.
Secondly, no, I don't believe that he is a.
I agree with you because, in a way,
Yeah.
by marrying herself and only making love to herself, she's just quit. She's just no longer in a relationship and masturbating.
Yeah, that's like saying it's getting cucked when your girlfriend uses a vibrator. Like,
Which some people
not
think.
really. Some people do be
Really?
thinking that.
Yeah,
Or like a
get upset.
dildo. Or like a dildo. Yeah.
They get upset because they're like, "How can I compete?"
What about a wife that thinks that her husband is cheating when he masturbates to another female?
Yeah,
Well,
that's
yours then, yeah.
It's a conversation that you need to have with your significant
it's a
other.
conversation. Yeah,
It is.
Preferably before
I've
you
had
get
that
married.
conversation. I've had that conversation.
How did it go?
That is not a surprise.
Well, what's helpful for me is that like I butter her up by saying, "No, I've jerked off you many times." So like you're in the mix. Like you're in the mix.
You're in the rotation.
No, it's like it's not all you, but you're in there. Like you're there. Like you know what I mean? Like it's a cycle.
Wow.
You're in that cycle, and that's
That's
to me that's a big compliment.
You're like a modern day Romeo.
I can see why she married you, bro.
She took it well. She was like, "Wow, really?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I think I remember that dialogue from Shakespeare.
Thou art in my rotation.
Was that your marriage voice?
Because you know what? It is a huge compliment. When you're married to somebody and you've been with them,
jerk off, my love.
Hold on. When you're married to somebody and you've been with them for almost a decade, and you have sex with that person many times,
You have
and
access to you have access to the Library of Alexandria for options.
And you're still jorking it to her? Yeah, that is a compliment.
No,
Thank
I
you very much.
actually agree with you.
Thank you so much.
It's a weird thing to say, but I could see how it would be perceived as complimentary.
Yeah.
Brennan, we all know you've never jerked off. Stop.
Yeah.
Also true.
Fucking robot.
Listen, I'm just I'm an ascended being. I'm a Nephilim.
A what? What'd you call me?
I'm a Nephilim. I'm like halfway between angel and human. I'm simply above your human desires.
Emma, what are your dogs' names?
So the one I'm pointing at right now, this is Sabrina. She's
Princess Sabrina.
The teenage witch.
Yeah, sorry, this is Princess Sabrina. Yeah, and this is Ma.
Because they love the monarchy in that house.
little Princess Sabrina. Oh
It's
no,
actually super
no.
Princess
hilarious because
Sabrina, my
very
baby. Oh,
anti-monarch, and my wife is convinced that they're
that's what Nikki
about
always says.
royalty.
Oh,
Yeah.
Princess Sabrina.
That's accurate. Actually, that is also very accurate. Yeah. Yeah. They we took Mac in about 4 months ago, 5 months ago. So he's definitely
Mac?
struggled a lot more. Yeah. He's Mac. He's Mackle, which makes sense.
Mac Mackle. Yeah, I was
Um,
going to say.
Oh, Mackle. Bam Balam.
Mac
You,
Mackle.
as a fellow big, do you call him Big Mac, like the hamburger?
He was Big Mac for a while,
He
but he's
was Big
lost
Mac.
like
Okay,
a quarter of his body weight, so he's actually really
good. So he's a
skinny
quarter
now.
pounder
So
instead.
yeah, so pretty much. Yeah, I like that. I like that. So he
Downgraded.
literally lost like 5 pounds. He was really badly mistreated, and he was
Oh,
really fat because they didn't take him outside on walks and stuff like that.
uh,
So like coming here, he's like, oh my god, I get to like walk and have fun. But we also had to have him on a diet, so he's miserable with this as well. So, but he's doing really well. He's doing really well. He's
he
just
was like Mansoor before Mansoor found Vince's
Nutella diet.
hippie gym guy. You still see that guy? Isn't he all over? Isn't he all over the lawsuits and everything?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is. Too.
Surely.
Probably go ahead and distance yourself from that.
Chat wants to know if they can ask work-related questions. Yes, you can. Just frame
Yeah, ask
them.
whatever the fuck you want. Ask whatever
Frame
the fuck you
them.
want.
Frame them as Elden Ring or begging. When is
or you can
Dave?
talk about size penises.
That is an
Oh,
excellent
it's on
way
my
to
old
end.
phone.
Your old phone. Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
What was that?
So small. Oh, this is
You better burn it.
It's Barbado, Lord of the Fall. He's one of the bosses from Elden Ring.
Lord of the Fall sounds like an old Ring of Honor stable, is it not?
Genuinely,
Age of the Fall, yeah.
Oh, okay, Age of the Fall. Okay, I see.
Is that right, Damo?
yeah. Israel and sorry, Azrael and some other dude.
I thought Jimmy Jacobs was in it, no?
Jimmy Jacobs. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Who's a better booker, Godfrey or America?
What?
Wow. I would have to say that that's not really the best way to frame it. It's more like who's the better booker, Moog or Mikola?
Who was better booked, Godfrey or?
Okay, here's the thing. Moog had some serious issues late into his life, and it must have been all
McMahon here, yeah.
Mr. Moogman. Mr. Moogman. You know, being born. Actually, they have a similar story. So Vince was born to
An omen.
in a trailer park, so very little means. Even though he was the son of royalty, the same way that Vince was the son of his dad, Vince Senior, wrestling royalty, but was born, in a trailer park. Moog was sent into the sewers because he was an omen-born child.
Wrestling royalty is a real stretch for Vince Senior.
He was the number one promoter in the Northeastern Territory.
Northeast.
No, just in New York. Just in New York.
That's not a big.
He was running
at that
Madison
time, that
Square
wasn't even
Garden.
claim to fame. Did he
What
what?
are you talking about? What the biggest territories were New York, Memphis, and
You're leaving out so many areas, buddy, like Minnesota and everything. Like
Minnesota.
There's loads of huge territories.
Where was World Class Championship Wrestling based out of?
Texas.
CCW.
Texas?
Yeah, I think Texas sounds about right. Yeah.
Where was Von
AWA was AWA was like Midwest.
I'll fact check this right now, but I don't think the WWF was as widely successful as you're claiming it to be.
It is correct that they were running Madison Square Garden, but like everywhere was running big buildings.
It's pretty
Like
easy to
Memphis
run
were running
Madison
on
Square
a regular
Garden when
basis.
you're just, aren't they? Isn't it just race baiting? You just put Oh,
yeah, it was getting all the Italian. Getting all the
we're in New
Italian
York. Let's just get all of the Italians to come by making an Italian guy our champion.
Yeah. And who else? Pedro Morales, was he a top guy? Was he a champion? Who am I thinking of?
Puerto Rican.
Yeah, I think they also tried to get Puerto Ricans to go because of Pedro. Was that right? Am I being racist?
Why
Jamie,
don't
pull that up.
we need to go back to those days of just
He was
I
a
guess we
champion
do.
for a very, very long time.
Yeah, Pedro, right?
Pedro Morales.
Morales, yeah.
Yeah.
And what race was he?
Puerto Rican.
That's okay.
I think.
There you go.
Or Puerto Rican passing, I'm sure.
Whoa.
You know,
And then he got Bob Backlund for the Irish.
Are we going to say that Hulk Hogan was Irish passing?
That's what he wanted.
He wanted to be Irish passing. That's why
he changed his name.
Yeah.
That's why
Was he not actually Puerto Rican and they made him Irish?
Hulk is Italian.
Hulk is Terry Bollea is Italian.
Italian?
Terry Bollea, he's Italian.
But they wanted an Irish champion, so they had Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan. Oh.
Damo, are you proud? Are you proud?
There's an awful lot of like 6'7" blonde people in Ireland.
They didn't have the internet back then. They couldn't have looked.
Let me tell you something.
That's my first cousin, Hulk Mackle,
Hulk Mackle?
Hulk Mackle. The North will be part of Ireland again.
Right, don't get me started on that stuff.
Oh, don't worry, Demo, I won't.
Kind of crazy how much. It's kind of crazy how much Vince looks like his dad now.
Oh, yeah?
Where's that fucking checkered plaid suit that he wore all the time?
Same deal?
Yeah, same deal. Look.
Oh.
You can see it.
Wow.
Checkered plaid fucking suit. Yeah. Doesn't it look just like him?
It does.
Yeah.
Well, Brennan, how would you compare Moog and Mikkola as bookers?
I agree with what you were going to say. Moog had his problems, but he made a very good place in the mausoleum.
The mausoleum. The mausoleum was huge.
The mausoleum was huge. There were a lot of people. Yeah, a lot of people were able to do well there. The Albinarics. The Albinarics couldn't have made it anywhere else, and they really owe it to Moog that they had that place where they could demonstrate their ability of getting farmed for runes.
It's really sad though that because of Moog, there was sort of an abuse of obviously omen blood. People would be injecting themselves with omen blood. And it would really hasten their demise. It set a bad precedent in the industry.
Well, that was just the business at the time. If you wanted to be the best worshiper of the,
if you wanted to be the best pure pale blood knight, or whatever the fuck they call it,
or finger severer, then that's what you had to do to get the numbers to go on invasions.
No, wait, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Is Vince Moog or is Vince Reichard?
Jackson?
No.
Jackson Reichard, the devouring.
He's kind of. I'd make him Reichard.
He's kind of Reichard, right? Because Reichard has engaged in every form of blasphemy there is, and I feel like Vince basically did that, right?
Did he shit on the neck?
Basically, yeah. So Reichard's a character who at one point was an inquisitor for this religious organization, but then when the Civil War broke out, he decided that he was going to win by any means necessary, so he engaged in every form of blasphemy there is, including allowing himself to be eaten by a god-devouring serpent, imbuing his own spirit into the being of the giant snake.
Mm-hmm. And he also has a wife that stands by him no matter what.
And he also let a snake fuck a lady to make snake babies. So I feel like that's kind of...
Oh, Vince would totally do that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I've read the text.
The difference in the booking style, I feel like, is that... Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, shoot me
Interesting.
if I sound like a company shill.
Okay.
Oh
But
God.
to me, it feels like, at least in our short time in AEW, it's much more of a meritocracy. Does that make sense, Brennan?
I get what you're saying. Basically, if you have ideas, there's a chance for them to go somewhere.
I think that you're more likely to be rewarded for your God, what's the word? Involvement or your
Or just willingness to do and try things, right? Like,
yeah.
generally speaking, we've said a lot of times about how if you're not chosen by Lord Mikola to be a part of his band, you're kind of just screwed because there's just no really. I mean, you can play a role and you can do really well in the Shadowlands.
Who, Mikola or Moog or Riker?
Mikola.
Mikola? Oh, I thought Tony was Mikola. Who do you think I was talking about?
I thought Hunter's Mikola.
I feel like Tony's Mikola. Very you think Hunter's Mikola?
Just because I guess he didn't win. I guess Mikola doesn't win, so.
I feel like Tony's Mikola because Mikola is like the Erd tree sucks. I'm gonna make my own tree over here.
Yeah,
with
no,
blackjack
that's fair.
and hookers.
That's fair.
Right? That's what it was.
Then that makes
he made his own
Hunter
tree.
that makes Hunter America, and that makes Vince the horn scent.
Now we're getting into complicated territory.
Now
No,
we're getting into
I
deep
see.
lore.
I don't know. Maybe Vince is America, and Hunter is Godfrey, right? Because he got exiled and came back.
He did get exiled to the NXT lands.
He got exiled to developmental lands with all the other tarnished who wouldn't get pushed on the main roster, devoid of the grace of gold, the grace of black and gold.
Black and gold. Oh.
But like, so our career in AEW has basically been like, hey, we're bringing you guys in to do something, and then we did that thing, and they were like, we really like that. We're gonna have you do more things, and that's been really cool.
Yes.
And it also feels like, to a degree, the more we do something well, the more we'll do it. Does that make sense? Like, I feel like in WWE, it didn't really matter if you cut a really good promo or had a really good match. It didn't necessarily facilitate more of that happening in your future, if that makes sense. Unless you were already chosen to be a person who would have those things,
especially at that point, it was kind of. I think what's been kind of refreshing, not to sound like a company shill or anything, but
although we do, I mean, we just do.
It
is what it is.
Whatever. We've had many segments where we would come back to Vince, and he wouldn't have watched it, or the reaction would just be like that would be. It's like, hey, sir, are you okay with that segment? And you just get, and you're like, okay, thank you. But like coming back to Tony is like coming back to a happy father who just loves you and thank you so much, and he gives you hugs and.
Well, yeah. So we did a Ring of Honor taping that had 40 matches, and he was there sitting for every single one.
Christ.
Yeah.
He was there from the first match to the last match.
I'm glad I wasn't there. That sounds fucking terrible.
Which is fucking crazy. I would want to blow my brains out after like match 13. Okay? But he loves it. He loves wrestling.
Like half of them like squash matches.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
But it still ends up being like 6 hours of.
It's still a really long day. But he's there for all of it. Whereas like main event is like 2 matches before Raw, and Vince is like, I'd rather eat a steak,
He would definitely rather eat his steak. Did he have ketchup?
I watched him eat an entire steak in his office. He made me watch.
He made me watch.
Hey, I told you the story. I went into his office. I had something to tell him or pitch, and he had his food, and I said, "Oh, I'll come back." He said, "No, sit down." And I sat down, and he just ate it in complete silence. And until he swallowed the last morsel, we did not engage in conversation.
God almighty.
Really?
Yes, and I thought it was a test. Like, I really wanted to like look at my phone and scroll, but I didn't because I thought he'd like be like, "Oh, these fucking millennials on their phones." So I just
Did he
sat
tell
there.
you to like wait?
So
Yeah,
Did
he said,
imagine,
"Wait."
he say, like,
imagine
minute?
how weird it was for him, and you just watched him eat the entire time. He probably thought you were fucking weird.
He told me to fucking stay.
Imagine if he was like, he didn't use your pitch because he was
He's
like,
like,
I was gonna use your pitch,
he's
but
like, what
like,
the fuck is wrong with Mansoor?
you sat there and
Why is he
watched me
just
eat.
sitting there
You didn't even pull
watching
out
me
your
eat the
phone.
fucking creep? He didn't even fit on my neck.
He's like, I can't even stay off my phone for 5 minutes. Why could? What's wrong with you? Are you some kind of
That's true because
psychopath?
he's always on his fucking phone. So I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a fair point.
He would have
Remember when
understood.
remember when I failed the test of when he told me I don't have to be on every show?
Yeah, you should have jumped him. That's how
I
I failed. I failed the test too.
too.
I failed the test too because he gave me a shoulder check in my first meeting, my first production meeting when I was on commentary, and he looked at me like the Grinch. He was like, and then I looked at him and I was like, "Oh, sorry, sir. I thought I was in his way."
I think that, but then I think about when Titus got suspended for grabbing his arm, and I'm like, what? I don't know. Like, you're sending mixed signals here, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Uh,
like you let
I mean,
Kofi fight him?
if you'd really known for sure, like the thing is, if you'd have knocked him on his ass, it could have went two ways. One, he could have pushed you to the moon, or the other, he could have cut you.
It's
fucking
literally
flat.
it's a 50-50. It's a 50-50.
There's no in between. Like there's no happy medium. It's one or the other. You should have just knocked him on his fucking ass.
Should have double legged him and started just punching him in the face. But like, what was
But,
the
uh,
what's the
just-
story about when KO headbutt him and then he's like, you better do it for real. And he's like, well, what if
So he did.
What if you,
So he did.
what if you die? Like he's an old man.
Anyone who ever hit him or took him out for real has a job for life. Just for the record, including Titus, by
Including
the way.
Titus, yeah.
Yeah. So take that into consideration.
Not Nails.
Go on.
Nails fought him, and then he got fired,
Oh.
right?
No,
Did he?
Nels threatened to murder him. There's a slight difference between
That's
LOL,
badass.
shoulder check Vince, and
Yeah.
I will, rip your eyes out of your socket. Because
Maybe
I
he just
can.
wanted to let it be known that he would take it a step further. Like, I'm not just gonna fight you, boss. I'm gonna fucking kill you.
Wow, he
He
really
was
knows how
really
to
going for that
escalate
push.
things.
He was going for the push.
maybe he was trying to live the gimmick. I don't fuck. Wasn't his gimmick. He was a criminal.
Wasn't it
Maybe
a
he wanted to
shoot?
show
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
how committed he was.
Committed, nice.
Surprised it didn't work.
Thanks.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, chat. What other
Sleepy
questions do you
puppy.
have? Sorry if I missed them. Just repost them.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so we did our first backstage promo in AEW, and everybody was like, wow, that's great. And then, like, the next time we went to AEW, we had 3 backstage promos. And I feel like that's because they saw the first few and were like, okay, these guys do that really well. And they write their own shit, and they collaborate with the other fucking creative minds. We're in WWE. It's like, well, actually, no. You know what? In WWE, that actually did kind of happen.
It
'Cause
did
after we did
happen
the
by
YouTube
the YouTube show gave
After
us.
we did the YouTube show, the writers did trust us to write our own stuff, and they were very cool to collaborate with.
But then
So
the segment
it was
stopped.
good in both. It was good in both companies, yeah. Although I feel like in AEW, if they were like, okay, we need to release people, I don't know if this is true at all. But I feel like they'd actually ask the people that work with the
The
talent.
people.
The people.
Whereas I don't think WWE does that. Am I telling tales out of class? I feel like in WWE,
we'd have
guys
no
who
way.
are
We have
not.
no way of knowing, but I do
Yeah,
feel
we have
like
no idea.
Tony. I do feel like Tony does tend to defer to wrestling people.
Yeah. Okay. So that's another thing.
That's a fact.
And I don't know if I should even be saying this. Tell me if this is stupid to say. But like, I do this everywhere I work. I go to the person who is paying me, and I say, Are you happy with that? Is there anything I could do better? And with Vince, it was like, ugh. With Hunter, it was like, yeah, good job, man. And with Tony, it was like, with Tony, it's like, because whenever you go to the back with Tony, he's like, let's fucking go. That was And I'm always asked Tony, I say, hey, is there anything I could do better? And he was like, well, I'm not a wrestler, so I can't. And I'm like, no, like, you should, like, tell me. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he feels like he can't, or maybe he feels like he shouldn't.
Yeah, I can feel that, but he'll direct you like, hey, if you see if Dustin saw the match or something, like he'll point you in the direction of
that's true
of a very trusted opinion, right?
You should say, oh no, I don't mean wrestling. That shit doesn't fucking matter. I want to know what you thought about the actual like performance and like the things that actually matter, because that's reality.
Yeah.
Oh, my footwork was who gives a fuck? Oh, I didn't do enough. Nobody gives a shit. None of that shit matters. So fucking ask him about.
I don't know, Dijak. I feel like
get over. You like the way the character presented.
I don't know, Dijak. I feel like if a girl's footwork was good enough, you'd let her peg you.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Wow! Look at how few steps she took. Look at how she runs to the ring in 2 steps.
Imagine how the pegging would go.
She'd get it done in 3 strokes.
Excellent work rate.
I'm almost done, boys.
With unpacking your house that you've lived in for like 3 weeks.
Yep. It's hard when you have a kid and your wife's pregnant.
That's an announcement! Yay!
What? 2 times.
2 times. 2 times. What?
When's she due?
Huh?
When is she due?
March.
Well done, Mansoor.
Thanks. I tried really hard.
It's such a weird.
Sure.
You ever think about what a weird conversation it is when you're like, "Hey, we're trying for a baby," because it's like
she must be really scared. Like saying, "Listen, man, you can't jerk off for a while," and he just freaks out.
It's not like it is weird, but it's also not like her mom wanted another grandkid, and so she would like kind of nudge us, like, "Hey, maybe it's time to start, trying again." You know what I mean?
maybe you should stop plowing my daughter again.
I think you should start having unprotected sex with my daughter.
You should stop jerking off, Mansoor.
Stop jerking off and save some of that. Save some of that baby batter for my daughter.
Jesus Christ. You kayfabed us for 2 months, you piece of shit.
No,
For those of you who don't know,
you son of a bitch.
They're from New England, so that's why she sounds like Louis Griffin.
Yeah, that's what we all sound like.
Mansoor.
That's what we all sound like here.
It is.
Mansoor.
Either way, congratulations. We wish you all the very best.
Thank you.
You're lucky he only kayfabed you for 2 months. When I had my second kid, I didn't tell my high school friends until the kid was already born.
Wow.
I was like,
Brennan, we expect that from you.
It's a power move. I didn't want them to know that I was multiplying.
You're a proper emotional robot.
You're a robot. You're a robot, Harry.
Proper one too, not improper.
Oh, check this out.
A proper robot.
Mia got me this for my last birthday.
Legos. Oh, Star Wars Battleship.
Episode 1 Battleship.
That's kind of based.
You sank my Starship?
You sank my Millennium Falcon.
So Starship's more of a Star Trek thing.
You sank my CIS drone battalion.
Oh
no. Doesn't have quite the same ring.
No, wait, they have the names. You sank my Trade Federation battleship.
That sounds like Star Trek.
That's a good one. No.
You sank my Naboo fighter.
Yeah. Naboo starfighter.
Millennial Falcon.
Millennial.
I had a friend that I came up in the business with that his gimmick was that he was kind of like a hipster, and he like his tagline was "I'm the millennium or the millennial Falcon."
I actually had the exact same guy. Holy fuck!
You had the same guy?
I had a wrestler in my scene called the Berkeley Brawler, and Berkeley is like a Bay Area town known for hipsters. And he would come out to the ring with the lensless glasses and the
This is
tight
exactly what he
jeggings.
did. Yeah.
And but he would come out with a Razor scooter to the ring because that's kind of what they rode around on college campuses.
Yeah.
And he came out to Arcade Fire. What was your guys' entrance song?
We had to use royalty-free stuff, so it was nothing.
Oh,
yeah.
lame. Yeah. Hard to put over the gimmick when you can't use it.
Yeah.
I, for one, would love to see the Berkeley Brawler versus the Millennial Falcon. That sounds like a fucking footwork nightmare.
Except Brennan, my guy was in a tag team with a librarian, Richard Shineri. Get it?
Yeah, but yeah, I wrestled him.
And the tag team was called the Millennial Falcons.
Oh, their team was it's so that's the thing. There's when we're all in this business, right? And there's only so many directions that you can take things. There's a lot of what is it? Convergent thought.
There's a lot of wrong directions.
There's a lot of wrong directions, but there's like a lot of ways that like people on opposite sides of the country will have the same idea.
Yeah. Yeah, like touching tips.
Yeah, yeah, honestly.
Right? I think I heard that. I think Pretty Deadly used to do it on the Indies or NXT UK. I don't know, but somebody told me they used to do it. I'd never seen it.
I think they
but
said
when we
they
became
said that they
MxM
did it, and
Collection,
they stopped doing it like before we started doing it.
Yeah, and I had never seen it. And then when we were the Maximum Male models, not only did we have the idea to tag this way, Jason Jordan had the exact same idea too.
Yeah, because our thing was we touched tips in our or it wasn't entrances at the time because we weren't wrestlers. We didn't
want to tag because. Yeah, go on.
We touched tips in the in our in our entrance because it was like a reference to the creation of man painting, right? Like that's how it started with. Like I was doing like this.
Yeah, and also
like this, and then he would touch my tip.
You started doing this, yes.
Yes.
You started doing this.
And they were like, "Oh, do that more,
and
do
then
that."
I also had the thought that we should do it. I had the thought that we should do it during our matches as a way to tag because we would see the Viking Raiders do this to tag, and I always thought that's cool having your own tag. And also because we don't want to slap each other's hands because we could have a future in hand modeling.
That's a good point.
I don't think anything is sacred in fucking pro wrestling. I really don't.
Yeah,
obviously, I mean, you can just steal whatever you want. I mean, unless somebody fights you, there's no real
if there's an
consequences
issue,
to your actions.
Yeah,
which is why
if there's an issue to it, like I just wouldn't want, in my humble opinion, if somebody were to ask, not to say that anybody has, me to stop doing something, I'd have no problem not doing it because I don't feel like any of my moves are that important to me doing my job. So I'd rather not have the conflict than to continue to make somebody else uncomfortable in this silly clown world that we exist in.
I mean, the only if somebody asked you to stop doing the Booker T kick and it wasn't Booker T, I might say something.
Yeah. I guess that's the only. Is that my only move that's most important?
That's like your only move.
Yeah, I think when it's somebody's finish, I think that's arguable. If they've been there longer and they've established it.
If it's somebody's
but if it's like,
it's not my
I do
finish,
this
right?
move for a 2 count, then who cares? You know what I mean? Like that's
I'm so confused about that because like let's say hypothetically, okay, right? We got Stone Cold Steve Austin and he's getting angry at you because you're doing the Stone Cold Stunner. Is me doing the Stone Cold Stunner taking away from Steve Austin hitting the fucking stunner? Does that take away from that moment when the crowd goes fucking berserk because they're seeing the coolest guy they've ever seen do the coolest move they've ever seen.
I'd
They
say
go, or they
yes.
go up. Well, T-Bar did that on main event.
I'd say yes if he
Well,
did it
did
every
Disco
week.
Inferno get madly over when he was doing it?
Right, it wasn't the move.
No,
But I'd say like
it's not
Well,
the move.
okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Consider this, right?
consider the
If you
following.
want to
Okay.
see the Stone Cold Stunner, if you want to see the Stone Cold Stunner in 1998,
Yep.
what show would you have to buy a ticket for to see it?
You could
Either
see it
Nitro
with Disco
or
Inferno in WCW. Yeah.
Oh, was that his finish? Oh, or ECW
Yeah.
because Mikey Whipwreck. Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I guess what I
Well,
meant to
his
say
was
is
the
like
back. He did the backpack stunner though, didn't he? So
you watch the match going. It's kind of like okay. Uh, what about this, Dijak? Imagine if you went to what's your favorite band?
I don't have
He
one.
doesn't like
Imagine
he doesn't
Dragons.
like
Imagine
music,
you went to
remember?
an
there we go.
Imagine if you went
He
to an
doesn't
Imagine
like
Dragons
any type.
concert, and the whole night you're like, "Oh, I can't wait till they play Radioactive. Oh, I can't wait till they play Radioactive."
Radioactive.
And then the opening band comes out, and they start playing Radioactive. Right? You're like, I like the song, but like, why the fuck are these guys playing it? And then by the time Imagine Dragons plays it, you're like,
No, I already
I'm
heard it
happy
today.
I got this, but why the fuck were they playing it earlier? Right? It's just weird.
Yeah.
I can
Yes.
guarantee that half the crowd wasn't there for
Like
the
it
fucking
doesn't
opening act.
ruin the experience, but it kind of is like instead of having the experience of listening to your favorite song being built up to, it kind of got a little like, oh, I just saw it, but it's not the way I wanted to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess. I don't know. Maybe this is
So
why.
I think when it comes to finishers, people we should try and at least not do the same one as somebody on a show. But I have been at indies where I've been one of three guys doing a fucking Vader bomb as a finish.
Well, yeah, the indies are the Wild West at that point. Like, no, there's no conversation about who's doing what moves, or
Well, that's
very
because
rarely.
like everybody back in the day would do the exact same moves as like scoop slam, vertical suplex, elbow drop, and then the only thing they actually did that was different was their finish, right?
Yeah.
So reliably speaking, you could like see something different.
It's
Every
the video
match was fun.
gamification of it that like everybody has three
Yeah.
signatures and two finishers.
Yes.
And yeah.
Yes, and every good match has to have at least two falsies. And in order to have a false finish, you have to do a cool move or a complicated roll up. So you have to expand your moveset by going on the video game and looking up create a moveset and like picking the cool ones that your friends did in the motion capture.
Is this? Are you actually describing like your moveset?
That's exactly what
I would be lying. I'd be
everybody my
lying if I
age
said-
did it exactly like that.
I would be lying if I said I didn't go on the 2K game and even back SmackDown versus Raw
You
and
just
just
scroll
go
through all
through
the
moves
moves
and be like,
to see which one's cool. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Everybody, I did it. Everybody I started training with did it. You're just like, oh, what's a cool move, or what's a cool version of this move? Just because everybody's done everything already.
I didn't.
everybody's already done everything, yeah. So it's hard to get.
Because the
anything
last
else.
video game
Never
you
did
played,
that.
the last wrestling game you played was No Mercy.
That's true.
They basically, the wrestling video games at some point became this library of moves, of well motion captured moves.
I did do that. I did do that with No Mercy in my backyard.
Exactly.
I did do it there.
Yeah, no,
My own moveset
imagine
right
they
now
had
is
that.
so-
Imagine they had that, but it was with like some indie guy who does all these cool moves. It's like a huge library.
And there's like thousands of them. Yeah, it's huge.
I only do like 5 moves. Well, I do a bunch of moves, but a lot of them are like kind of basic. Like moonsault is not my move. It's just a move. Springboard elbow is a move that anybody can fucking do.
Big boot.
Well, nice.
Yeah, if you can springboard.
Yeah,
I can
Yeah.
springboard
I would never.
like 9 times out of
I wouldn't
10,
trust it.
and that's why I don't. Yeah.
I do a Death Valley driver where I just turn a bunch before it, so that's just not really. It's kind of a basic way to do it.
You did a great job of
decided-
burying yourself as to why I shouldn't watch your matches.
I don't do any moves. Nobody should come to see me this weekend
I don't
3
do anything.
times.
Almost every move I do. Almost every move I do is just something I saw that was cool, and I put a slight variation on it. That's really my entire move set is like, oh, I like a top rope elbow drop. Let me do it out of a springboard. Oh, I like a choke slam. Let me do it. The guy goes in between my legs.
I
Oh, I
started.
love a big boot. Let me spin for it.
I started doing
Your
Dijak's.
twisty boot is cool as fuck.
Every single move I fucking do is just a slight variation of a move I thought was neat.
I specifically started doing
I
Dijak's
love
choke slam
to
because
not fall down when I do it.
because there were too many. Because every tall guy in Ring of Honor does just a regular choke slam, and I was like, oh, well, now I got to do Dijak's choke slam.
But is it the best choke slam ever that I saw on Twitter today?
It's not the best one, but I have the right to it because me and Dijak's double team was a choke slam, so it's like Bubba
Towers
doing
of power.
I called on fucking NXT. I called the choke slam High Justice. The name of the move is High Justice.
So it's partially mine.
It is 100% your move as well.
Okay.
I would love for you to do High Justice.
That's why I didn't ask. That's why I didn't ask.
Yeah, please don't. Even if we didn't do it, you don't fucking ask. It's a fucking pro wrestling move. Who gives a shit?
I would ask if I was doing the feast your eye. No, I wouldn't ask. I'd actually.
That would be a tribute though, because we're friends. Like that'd be funny.
You would also say feast your ass, not feast your ass.
I'd say, I'm gonna do the feast your ass. I'm gonna get him in the torture rack and then have him land on my butt.
The only thing I ask is that you don't outright taunt me with it. That's it. That's my big fucking ask. Is
what you have to do is point to your eyes and then point to your ass and then fucking.
If you don't blatantly mock me with the information, then please feel free to do any of my moves.
Oh yeah, Mansoor, you want to explain Kyle Fletcher kissing your tit in Mexico? It's actually less offensive to me. It should be more offensive to our close personal friend Shane, our actual Australian.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you've adopted a new Australian?
Yeah, so everybody's asking me
I found
if I'm
better,
jealous.
more athletic, hotter Shane. His name's Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah.
And
he's ginormous.
He's huge. Huh?
He's so tall as well.
Yeah, he's like 6'3".
He's in great shape.
Great head of hair.
6'4", 6'5", great head of hair, not balding at all, no Norwood scale.
What?
You know the Norwood? You don't know the Norwood?
Is that like an incel turn?
Yeah, Dijak knows the Norwood.
What's the Norwood?
You know the Norwood?
No.
Jamie, pull up the
no idea
Norwood.
what you're talking about.
Jamie, pull up the Norwood scale.
What is the Norwood scale?
You're Jamie.
Look up the Norwood scale.
How your widow's peak goes?
Yeah. Look it up, Brennan. Put it on stream.
I don't have it set up. Hold on. I'm just going to show you my screen.
Chat, everybody Google the Norwood scale, okay?
Oh, it's like a scale, I thought it was like a grayscale from Game of Thrones.
I'm not even on the scale. My weird baldness isn't even on the scale.
Well, that's because you're bald. The Norwood is for people who are still clinging on to their hair.
Yeah, I give up really quickly. I was like, no, fuck that.
So what, you want to be a 1 on the scale?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay so far. Pretty straight.
Who is Norwood?
You actually don't look that high a line. It's actually quite impressive.
Why did you start on Propecia? What led you to believe that you needed that in any capacity?
Because
I'm on finasteride.
He gets alopecia.
Well,
he gets
first of all,
alopecia.
I have
Propecia's
alopecia.
finasteride genius.
There's a lot.
I have alopecia areata, but that just affects my beard. But it hasn't since 4 years ago.
Is there any thinning whatsoever in your hair?
Yeah.
Where?
Like in the top, kind of.
Oh, I guess, yeah, it's a little bit.
And honestly, I started to notice that when my hair was long, and I'd tie it into this tight ponytail, and you'd see kind of like some baldness in the top. And it doesn't
Yeah.
help that when you have long hair, you tie it back and it gets so tight that it gets pulled like this, right? So they told me that hair loss prevention is more effective than hair loss regrowing. So it's better to get on that shit before you show serious problems. So that's why I'm on the pill.
100%.
Because
If I had started Propecia when I was like 17,
12?
not 12, but 17, and like taking it consistently, because I started when I was like 18 and a half, and I took it somewhat consistently, but then I stopped for a year or two, and now it's just a fucking catastrophe. If I'd been consistent, I'd be okay right now. Not great, but I'd be okay.
But you
But I
started
didn't.
balding that early? Holy fuck.
I first noticed a beginning of a widow's peak when I was in my senior year of high school. Yeah,
It's the white man's
Oh,
curse.
wow.
It's their punishment for
because
conquering the earth.
my
Sure. Yeah.
my
And then we
football
get hairy ears.
team for my football team, for camaraderie's sake, we all shaved our heads for like homecoming or whatever. And when I shaved it, I noticed that it was like, I'm like, oh, that's you could see like a noticeable like curvature to the hairline. Where I was like, that's interesting. And then like a year or two later, I did it again, and there was like a noticeable like patch up here that was thinner than the rest, and I was like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble.
Kako Croc, I've had my dreads since my senior year of high school. I cut them for the first time like 4 years ago. They were too long. If you look at me in like Retribution days, that was like uncut.
It's gonna be the
Uncircumcised.
longest you've had before.
It was very long and like very in the way. Like it was always getting stepped on.
You remember when you first were
Unreasonably long.
training at the PC and we kept falling out?
Oh yeah, people
Doing
would step
fucking
on them, and
forward
then
rolls?
I'd lose like
Yeah.
I'd lose like a piece of one because people would step on it or get ripped out because it was too heavy to stay in
You
like
were
a
like
ponytail.
proper Rasta length at that point, though, man.
Yeah, it was too long. I need
It
it's
was
too
like
long. It's too
super
long right
long.
now. Honestly, I need to cut it again.
What she said.
Yeah,
That's what she said.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
actually a clip of we're doing. I think we had just chokeslammed Woodsy, and we're doing this pose over him. And Ali like steps in front of me and you, Dijak, and he stepped on my hair, and he told me, he's like, you need to move out of the way, and I
Fuck.
didn't. And he stepped on my hair, and you can see me get up, and I'm like Spider-Man posing over Woods, and I'm like, eh! And I can't move because I'm gonna get my hair ripped out. So I just stayed there like a goblin. Chat, somebody could probably find it by the end of the stream. Send it on Twitter.
I remember when I first grew my hair when I was wrestling and it would dry off and would go into my throat. I would have some of the worst experiences
dude,
That's
mid-match.
Mansoor's problem, yeah.
Oh, that's the fucking worst, bro. Oh my god, it drives me crazy. When I had long hair, I would dry heave in the
But
middle
it
of
got,
it.
oh, it's awful. But when it got super long, it was fine. But in that in-between stage where it was like just pretty much mouth level, it was just
Yeah.
always in there. And I was like, oh, what the fuck am I going to do about this?
When I mean, with the model gimmick, I tend to like wear it tied back, so it's really out of the way.
Nice.
But like when it's long, like it is now, because my hair is heavy. It's like you can weigh it. It's a good couple of pounds, even now that it's shorter. And like it would whip and it would like turn. Like actually, when I was doing my pro day for the NFL, I'm doing the 5-10-5 drill. Dijak, you probably know what that is. Where you run 5 yards, you have to turn. It's like a agility thing. You don't know that? You have to do that. For like
I had a
college.
pro day.
For
I was a
college.
fucking bum.
You do it for college. It's like it's a common drill, chat. Look it up.
Oh, it's like is
It's the
that
one where
like
you
the
change
cone
direct.
T drill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah. So I'm doing that, and when I turned directions, my hair was out, and it whipped around, and it like pulled my eyes out.
Fuck.
Those football combine drills are so fucking useless. I don't know why they think that those are
Almost as good as the combine drills we used to do in the PC.
No, those were
Yeah.
even worse because wrestling's fake.
Almost as useless. Yeah, almost.
The combine year was the dumbest. Oh my god.
I will never forget when we would do the PC combines and all these jacked, huge, super athlete guys who are not on TV would just dominate it. And all the top guys who are on TV every single week and all the champions did not do it. They decided they were not going to do it.
Well, I remember I did one or two of the things in my first year, and then I was like, I'm going to get really hurt doing these.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to stop
I'm
doing
just
them.
gonna get hurt because I wasn't training for these things.
This is a
Yeah,
true,
I'm trying to be a pro wrestler, not a fucking athlete.
This is a true story. Sean Hayes, who was he ran the combines, and he was the head strength trainer from like, I don't know, 2016 to 2020 or
Probably the best
21.
strength coach I've ever had. Definitely the best strength coach I've ever had.
The year and the combine that Mansoor's talking about, Sean came to me and basically begged me to participate in the combine because I was one of the only TV guys who could like actually do the combine
do
and like be in the ballpark of the other athletes and stuff. Because nobody else on TV wanted anything to do with the combine.
Dude, we did a
Only in
Spirit
certain events.
Day. Do you remember Spirit Day?
Yeah,
I skipped Spirit Day.
I remember
Dude,
Spirit Day.
Spirit Day was brutal because it was 4 teams. There were 4 team captains, and I was drafted to Team Indy. It was all the indie guys who were the top guys on TV, and we were fucked. Every activity, we were fucking dead fucking last, except for one. It was volleyball. We came in first. You want to know why? Because we had Jesse Elaban, who was a professional volleyball player.
She qualified
Makes
as an
sense.
indie.
I don't remember.
all
I don't
indie
remember.
guys.
I don't remember who it was, so I can't bury them specifically. But I vividly remember somebody walking away because everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the indie team sucks," and then it was like, "Well, at least we're on TV tomorrow."
It was like whenever something like that happened, where we pretended like how athletic you are meant anything to your success in pro wrestling, it would always kind of like highlight the contrast between what they think the PC is and what NXT was.
Yeah,
and that cognitive dissonance was very,
For the
very
record,
fucking
for the record, changed dramatically with NXT 2.0, like in
Of
the
course.
exact opposite direction.
And quite frankly, I think it's paid off very well.
Debatable.
I think right now
that's for our jobs.
Interestingly enough, you work for AEW, which has had probably the biggest payoff from the 2018-19 NXT Black and Gold roster. Since
Yeah,
they're
you're right
literally
about
almost all
it's like a real high school reunion every time we go to a show.
Well, to put over WWE for a second to show I'm not a complete company show, I think that the amount of homegrown talent they have now is for like the first time since like the fucking Cena, Batista, Brock, Randy era, like actually producing fruit in that sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because they're choosing
You can't compare it to that group, though.
Right.
Well, I mean, that was a fucking legendary group. It remains to be seen if the same can be said about this crop of talent. But so far, I would say it's more impressive than like. Well, no, because I guess Roman was homegrown, right? He was FCW. Big E was homegrown. Who was homegrown like between like 2009 and like 2018 that ended up like a huge success? Roman?
A bunch of girls.
Cody, but then he had to leave.
Roman for sure.
Yeah, Roman.
That might be it.
I don't.
Yeah.
In a way too. I'd also count like legacies as homegrown in a really nice farm, like a special wing, a special
like
greenhouse.
Free, yeah, free roaming.
Charlotte's probably like one of them.
Legacy, yeah. It's okay. That's the thing, though, right?
Yeah.
It's all people who are legacy. Interesting.
It's very hard. Like if you look at the except for Biggie. If you look at the top of the card now, it's very hard to find the very top. It's very hard to find somebody who isn't a legacy or wasn't wrestling in like 2010 or both. It's very hard to find that at the very top of the card. Gunti.
Big Drew, I guess.
And
Yeah,
Priest.
Drew's up there, and
Drew.
Priest.
Drew,
You're only talking about Cody and Roman, basically.
Well, and
Yeah,
that's,
well,
I mean,
no.
is that not the real top of the card? Like, would you say that Drew is even? It's like a
He's
gap.
an indie
It's a power.
guy.
It's a power gap.
Almost.
Yeah.
If you look at WWE's roster and you look at it very like diplomatically, almost everybody there is there for a reason, and that reason is never because they're a good wrestler. That's just the reality of the situation.
If they're a good wrestler,
Being
it's
a great
bonus.
wrestler can come as like a fun side component that it's like, oh, also he's a great wrestler. That's not the reason those people are there. It just isn't.
That's a pretty blanket statement. You mean at the
Call me
top
out
of the
on it.
card or in general?
You can pretty much apply it across the board.
Well, to get
but-
to the top of the card, like even at the very least, somebody has to like pick you out and then put you there.
I'd say a guy
Do
like
you-
Chad is around for as long as he was, just by purely being
Yeah.
great.
But the truth is, like, so Roman did like 2 years on the house shows with Randy Orton, learning how to wrestle properly and to be a main eventer because they chose him to be that guy. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I'm sure if they gave Dijak 2 years of Randy Orton, he'd be pretty good, you know. But we still want to
we
do
can
some
only
stupid
hope.
spots, you know?
We can only hope he'd finally get good. Lord.
Yeah, no, I guess I'm mostly referring to the top of the card. Yeah,
Because that makes sense. From a marketing standpoint, it doesn't. You have to check a
by the
certain
way,
box.
I'm not angry about this. It's good business. That's a smart business decision to have a reason for all of your beyond wrestling.
I'm starting to see why you're saying this now. It's because you're a straight white male who's from America, and that's already
I just wish I was somebody's son. I really do. I wish that Jim Dijak was a legendary professional wrestler.
I was gonna go with Paul. I was gonna go with Paul
Why the
Dijak.
fuck? God damn it, Jim! Why were you a lumber worker and not a goddamn pro wrestler?
At this point, I'm just clinging on to pro wrestling in the hopes that I can be Connor Dijak's successful father, so he can have a good career.
Yeah, you don't have to have been very high on the card. You just have to have been there.
Yeah, exactly.
You want your kids to make you the Genetti.
Please.
Isn't that the point of having kids, that they might Genetti you one day?
Yeah. Jesus. For the love of God.
You can only hope.
If you guys can hear me in your dreams right now, please Genetti the shit out of me. Shouldn't be that hard. I didn't raise the T-bar too high.
El Hijo del T-Bar when Connor's in Mexico.
Oh, dude, Connor and CMLL is gonna go.
He's gonna be 6'8", wearing the old T-bar mask.
Oh my God!
Gonna be the best gringo ever.
And nobody's gonna want to see it.
Dijak, I think you should actually go to CMLL. I feel like that would be fucking awesome.
Why do you say that? Like I just show up. Like, oh, let me go get a plane ticket.
I don't know.
Fucking
do you want me to hook you up with somebody? I can hook you up with somebody.
Yeah, he is Mr. CMLL now.
What? First of all, I have no.
He'll hook you up with Carlos.
Oh, I have no availability. I'm so busy. I'm so booked.
When am I supposed to know? On the random fucking
you're an MLW.
Sunday?
Just go. Isn't Mystico there? Go talk to Mystico.
He can't. He doesn't speak English.
Oh yeah, good point.
When am I going to go, and what purpose does it serve?
It's just cool. I don't know. That's why I did it. It's like, oh.
You understand this is my job, right? Like I have to like physically pay my mortgage.
It's my job too. I have kids too. I have
So,
one and a
did you
half
go
the
there
amount of
and
kids
do it
you
for
have.
free? What?
Huh?
Dijak is becoming like
Did more than you.
like a middle class Kevin Nash. He's-
It's all
Yeah,
about
pretty
money
much.
and miles,
it's
kid,
all
okay?
about
I need
money
to
and
make,
miles.
I need to make $1,500 in Missoula, Montana instead of going to Mexico City, okay? So I could put over Jack Flash Thunder for the CPWA championship.
That's actually quite accurate.
What's
If
chat saying, Brett?
CMLL
Give her a
wants
chat. Brennan, give her a
rematch
chat.
I am reading chat. They're saying blue collar gimmick. Dijak thinks Mexicans. Geez, Louise. No. Ratio
What did I
Atlantis
say?
Jr. No, nothing.
Yeah, Ratio Atlantis Jr. Oh, dude, you know what's crazy? They were booing Atlantis Jr.
Oh yeah, Manny. They want you to talk about your time in CMLL.
It was
Oh,
super
God.
awesome. It's a
Did you
complete
get the
culture.
shits?
Huh?
Did you get the shits? Did you get the shits?
The shits? Yeah, I got diarrhea, obviously.
Tell him about your
Yes.
hilarious joke when you texted us in the
Yes.
middle of the night and said you tore your ACL. It was
Oh,
really,
that was funny.
it was really
Yeah.
funny. It
Okay.
was a really
So,
good joke.
That was a great joke.
Great joke.
one of the
Had me
shows,
rolling.
we were in
Yeah, big
Guadalajara.
fan of that joke, actually, yeah.
We were in Guadalajara, and we did a match where I caught a dive. And he landed a little short, so he kind of landed on my leg, and I felt a little... And I kind of shook it off, and it was fine, but it was a little sore after. So I thought, oh, every good lie starts with a kernel of truth. So I told the group chat that I tore my ACL. And I really fed into this lie by just kind of feigning ignorance on stuff. They were like, well, did it pop or did it snap? And I was like, I don't know, I just can't walk. And they were like, well, does it feel like a tear or more like a zip? I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means, but they're taking me to the hospital. And they were like, oh, and Shane was like, oh, no, you're going to, oh, no, mate. They better airlift you out of there, mate, or you're going to be stuck there forever. And of
He
course,
got
like
more Australian throughout that sentence.
the actual reason that the reason I did this room in the first place is because this is the only reason why I did it. Brennan texted me before I left to Mexico City, just don't get hurt.
Don't get injured. Brilliant.
Don't get hurt. Because we're ramping up for a really good run. And if I get hurt, like it fucks him too, obviously, as a tag team.
Which would be the second
So for me to go get hurt, huh?
Which would be the second time.
Yeah, it's the second time I fucked him over. So I said, well, this is great because I'm going to rib him by making him be worried sick, not just about his friend, but also for his career. So that I'm out. I'm at the hospital and they're checking on me. And I don't say anything about it for an entire day because I wanted him to go to bed just sick about
Yeah,
it.
I was sick about it because
I know how
I'm
Brennan
not a
gets.
psychopath.
I know how Brennan gets when he just becomes like when the dread overcomes him, and like he just is in a pale sweat, right? Like
You're a terrible friend.
I know.
Well, it's this wave of nihilism that takes over him. Like I saw it happen to him in WWE like 25 times. Loses
Yeah, we all
hope.
did.
It affects his like home life. It affects his personal life. It was very funny.
Which is a great setup for a joke.
And then the next day, Brennan asked me, "Hey, Manny, like any update? How you feeling?" I sent him a video of me doing jumping jacks, and everybody buried me and said I'm a horrible person. But I thought it was funny.
I didn't bury you. I just said good joke.
Yeah, but it was
none
kind of like
none of us in the group chat thought it was a good joke, and you're like, "Well, I thought it was funny."
I've been having a great couple of months of just enjoying my life and being happy
professionally
at my place
and personally for the first time in 6 years.
My kids are doing great. I'm just having a great time, and he's just like, yeah, let me put a damper on his weekend real quick.
Because me and Brennan share a cup, right? And it's always half something. And Brennan will like when Brennan thinks it's half full, I think it's half empty. And when Brennan thinks it's half empty, I think it's half full. But for the first time in our careers, we both agree that right now it's filling up pretty nicely. And that's for the first time. So I wanted to fucking knock that cup over and spill that shit all over the floor. Brennan could think that he will never get anything good in life.
What an insane thing to do to your
It's just funny.
friend.
It's funny. It reminds me of that Cody thing where Danielson did an interview and he was like, "Cody taught me how fun it is to lie." And while I remember somebody told me a story about Cody where he was like telling Cody about something that happened to him. It was a pregnancy scare where one of his ex-girlfriends came to him and was like, "This is your baby." And he was like, "Oh my God, is this true? This is going to like change my life. Like, I don't know if I can handle this." But it turned out it wasn't his kid. And Cody was like, "Oh my God, yeah, that exact same thing happened to me." And Cody goes on a 20-minute tale about how he almost had to move to like the other side of the country to take care of this kid that was his, and it was this whole saga about how like it was this big, completely intricate woven tale. And the whole time, this guy tells me Brandy, Cody's wife, is with him, and Brandy's looking at him like this. And then at a certain point in the story, Brandy goes, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And Cody was like, "Oh yeah, I just made that all up." Because sometimes lying is fun, and I finally get it.
Well, I'm glad it brightened your day.
Hey, thanks. Oh, but yeah, CML was great. Here, it was a huge culture shock because the tag team matches in CMLL are 2 out of 3 falls. So this is what really got me. When you get pinned, both members of the team have to get pinned twice. It's not 2 out of 3 falls. It's like 4 out of 6 falls, because it's not just one member has to get pinned twice, and it's both members have to get pinned twice. So usually what happens is the heels will pin both baby faces at the same time, and then the baby faces will pin both heels at the same time, and then a heel will pin one baby face, and then a baby face will pin one heel, and then the baby face will pin the other heel. Does that make sense?
No, but I kind of get it.
It's fucking
in the
crazy.
royal making of sense, it's terrible, but you explained it really well.
It would make more sense in Spanish.
What's crazy is that like this is an extremely complex rule set for a crowd that is just getting drunk and calling me a whore and a bitch,
After
and
church.
that they want to fuck my yeah. Like there's no like this is a rule set for it's like the British 7 rounds, the pure, it's like Ring of Honor pure rules for the enlightened fan who have to keep track of who's been pinned and who hasn't. But it's just a bunch of these people who are like, "Pinche tu madre, puto, culero, fuck you," whatever, all this shit. And it's like these people are not keeping track of these crazy rules, man. Like they just they're awesome. The fans were fucking amazing. Like it's like when you watch wrestling in like the 80s and 90s when there's just screaming happening at all times. That's what it's like that. It's like that golden age crowd.
It sounds like the opposite of Japan, where it's just like
Kinda,
constant noise.
Right, but I liked Japan because it was like waves, whereas like America is like this and then spot.
Well, Japan was cool because like it was quiet, but you could feel anticipation.
Yes,
like you could it was quiet, but you could feel people like at the edge of their seats.
America isn't a wave; it's a spike. It's spikes.
Yes.
Oh. 1, 2, oh.
Yep, you're right. And every time somebody gets hit,
you have to construct, or what I do anyway, is I construct my matches in America to try to elicit a wave because it's so fucking difficult to get it.
Very hard.
So it'd be like 1, 2, and then I call it a plateau because I need to keep their energy up to parlay it into the next spike, that I'm not just dipping through everything. Because that's what they love to do. They love to fucking make noise and then shut the fuck up for some reason.
Then they can tweet about
because they're looking at their phone.
Whereas in like
eating hot
like
chip
in
and
Europe, it'll be more of like there's more of like a buzz.
Oh, in Europe, they're like, "Oh, it's Dijak, it's freaking Dijak. Oh, it's Dijak. What a T-ball."
It's
chant I got in York Hall.
Coming up, it's
Dijak.
You like this? Just shut up for a second.
Your eyes too. You're just thinking that's what
you do, baby. See that ball, yeah.
All right. Let me know when you're done.
We're done.
We're done.
Chant I got in York Hall was something about being a shite Terminator. I don't know exactly what
It was just
what
a
the
shake, Terminator, shake,
that sounds.
Terminator. Was it
Yeah,
that?
that
Yeah.
sounds right. What? That sounds
How
right.
do
But
how
yeah,
do they?
what
Is
song
it a
is that?
hive mind? Why do they know? How do they all know?
They're all based off
There's
football songs. And even though
there's
most
like
of them are
four.
virgins who never went to football, there'll be one of their friends who likes football. And then, so they'll chant and then they'll go, oh, I understand. And then that's how it kind of
Yeah,
goes.
yeah. There's only like 4 or 5 songs. I assume they're all soccer
No,
songs.
No,
there's
there's
like
about 10.
there's a bunch of songs.
Oh, is there? I hear the same ones over again. It's like la 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 la. That one happens
Tyler
a million
Bate,
times for
Tyler,
sure.
Tyler Bate, Tyler, Tyler, Tyler,
You
Tyler,
can throw
Tyler.
any you can throw any fucking name in that one.
I guess what
Other ones
I'm
got?
always baffled by is how they're able to like understand. Like, I mean, I can't understand their accents. I guess they can, but how does the entire crowd know what the words are when somebody just made it up on the spot? it's that's the
Yeah, good
magic.
point.
You
That's the
Yeah, maybe they
magic of
listen.
England.
Maybe they listen to one guy sing it to completion. It's just like-
The
Yeah,
chorus
honestly,
leader.
because they're genuinely, because it's genuinely based off your wrestling name. It's that simple. They just insert your name in with the rest of the words.
Damo, do
Yeah,
they
pretty
ever
much.
So
chant?
like
Damo, do they ever chant? To Damo is gonna be the Damo that it all comes back to you.
no, I had one guy
Yeah.
tried to do the hey ho, let's go to me. He's like hey ho, Damo, right? And it just did not catch on. It was one of the funniest things.
That's pretty
And
good.
then they kind of so because I said that on like fuck one of the big fucking podcasts once, you get the occasional guy trying to do it now, and like it gets a bit of a giggle, but that one was pretty cool. It never nobody went for it. So the guy fucking stood in his chair and everything to try and get it to try and
Oh,
get it
that's really
across.
embarrassing
I
for
just
him.
remember, I just remember looking at the guy going, "Fucking hell, that just did not pay off."
Because like you go, hey, ho, Damo, hey,
Oh
ho,
no!
Damo, because you want to go,
Tried.
because you want
He fucking
to go,
tried. He tried.
because you want to go.
Yep.
It's Damo.
It's Damo.
But yeah, so it's like certain famous songs, like are what are used effectively, and then they just fill in the blanks.
They're a fascinating species, led by their leader, Smart Schoolboy 9. I'm gonna send you the video tonight, guys. You're gonna watch this Smart Schoolboy 9, and you're gonna know the peak of English civilization.
Is it the greatest video ever?
Triple Threat Podcast. Thank
No.
you for the raid. It's like it made me ill.
It's disgusting.
It's disgusting, and not for like any reason. Like, it's not like gore. It's not like disgustingly sexual. It just feels gross.
It makes you like so upset that what a human being can be. Like I can't believe a person is doing this shit.
And he lives among us.
And he's among us.
Among Us.
It just makes
Is
you.
that a
It makes you think
character in
about it.
Elden Ring? Dijak? Among Us?
We played Among Us.
We played Among Us. Yeah.
Even Dijak played Among Us. It was the pandemic. It was a dark time.
Was.
Well, chat. Do you have any final thoughts? We're streaming again Wednesday. We will be doing commentary for the Black Label Pro Combine, brought to you by DraftKings on
Well,
Wednesday at 7:30
Alive.
live. We'll be doing it from home, but we'll be watching it
Are you live, pal?
live, pal. That'll be a good time. So tune in for that. It's gonna be there's a whole cast of characters Wednesday. And then aside from that, we will be at Collision on Friday, where we will blacked the House of Black.
Oh, Brennan, yeah, talk about that because that's something people everybody liked.
You
Twitter
wanna-
posted that.
You want to know about House of Black, chat? The real.
We've had that line in the bank.
We've had that line in the can
It's
since our
cold
first vignette. It's been on ice.
Right.
We had it. We were just because when we did our first vignettes, where we were just the one that you can see in the little Minitron. When we were doing that, good. I'm glad you don't get the joke. Don't look it up. We asked, it's like, hey, do you want us to just like say funny things? We can just give you a bunch of funny lines and you can use whatever you want. And if you don't use it, then don't use it. And one of them was, you've heard of the House of Black. Now prepare to get House of Blacked. And they didn't use it, which just meant we could use it last week.
That's right. We got this shit in the bank. We got so many for so many. You're going to love it.
It's not even that creative. You could probably guess.
Those are usually the best things in pro wrestling. If it's not
it's always
complex.
something. We always put something on our promos that pop us huge, and nobody picks up on it. Like the last promo we cut on House of Black, we did a thing where we touched tips, and then I started getting really excited in the promo and shouting and getting really like amped up. And as I did that, our fingers both started doing this. and then we like looked at it and nobody picked up on that.
So I saw exactly one person. I saw exactly one person who said, "Oh, they realized that they were touching tips for too long," which I was like, "You're close." But
I noticed that part, and that part dimed me, but I did not see the erection. That evaded me.
So that's
I did love the touching tips too long notice and then pull away. That popped me huge.
That's the beauty of our promos is that they have rewatchability for the deep lore.
There needs to be a guy who puts out 30-minute YouTube videos analyzing the deep lore of our promo.
So what makes the MxM Collection videos so impressive is, as you can see here, they're touching tips, which is their signature maneuver. However, as Mansoor gets excited, notice how the tips stiffen. They become more erect.
It's a callback to their promo from 2021 on SmackDown, August 28th.
Eyepatch Wolf, get on it.
Damo's disavowing because most of his work comes in fucking London.
It's sad.
I disavow.
Disavow.
No.
Right?
How can I possibly disavow my two friends having an erection on television?
It's not even the fact that we had an erection. It's that we went from being flaccid. You could see the full process, the metamorphosis.
You know exactly what gets us going. And that's what when we were discussing that part specifically, it was well, are you guys upset that you guys have an erection? And we were like, no, it's not that we're upset that we have an erection. We're upset because you saw us get an erection, and that's a private moment between us.
Good canon. Good head canon.
It's good head canon.
Do you guys walk through your promos?
Yeah. It's totally, we write it. It's scripted.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but do you like rehearse them?
Only in the sense that we
throw stuff at the wall and then we kind of draft a solid one. Like this week, we were working with RD and we were just like,
he's the best. He's the best. Mixed martial Archie.
So we would just like throw out something. And he's like, "Is this good?" And he's like, "I think there's something more. Like, can we get this?" So it was like a very like collaborative, very curated set of jokes that ended up being the promo.
And then like every time we do a take, something will happen where we go, "Oh, would this be better? Or would this be funnier?
Or can we get a snap zoom here?" Or
Yes. The camera guy is actually really cool because he'll like kind of see what we're going for and add some flair to it, which is nice.
And then after we got a good take this week, we got like a text from Jimmy, and it was like, "Hey, can you call it a Friday night fashion fight?" So we had to redo it because we love getting like one thing from Tony, where Tony will be like, "Hey, can you make a thing out of abbreviations?" Or, "Hey, can you end it with Friday night fashion fight?" And we're like, "Yes, we're going to give you."
Actually.
We're going to give you that
That
one
is
thing you
very
asked
good.
for in the best way you can possibly imagine.
What's great about the fashion fight is we have no fucking idea what that means.
I still don't know what it means. It could be a match. It could be.
I genuinely hope it's like you guys throwing clothes like and random shit like that, or even
what
you're using the materials behind clothes to like choke people and stuff. That's amazing.
It's not. There's no better case scenario than it not being a match.
Or is it?
Imagine
Is
how-
it a rounds match? And in between the rounds, you all have to fashion and
we have to
make
get
fucking
changed.
look.
Imagine how pissed Buddy would be if it wasn't a match.
I was gonna say it's the best
Oh,
way you could possibly do it.
Yeah.
Strikes ready for you already.
I went to see Mansoor rate this one though. He'll still give it 3 stars because it's very nominated.
He's gonna have a stroke.
If he's so
Gonna
upset that he
like
has to give you 3 stars.
-6 duds. I just don't know what the fashion fight was all about. I didn't understand.
I don't get it.
I didn't understand. I didn't like it, but here's 4 stars.
only.
Yeah,
3
no, we
stars.
honestly we have no idea. We know that we were supposed to say specifically fashion fight, and it was left purposely vague.
Friday night fashion fight.
It's our signature match. It's our Hell in a Cell
during Fashion Week, which is the week we made famous.
It's your Jailhouse Street fight.
Yep.
This is our crown.
And you, much like me, will lose your first and only.
No spoilers.
Are you doing the fashion fight against House of Black?
Yes.
Yeah.
Take a look at that.
Yeah, well, yeah. So you're losing.
Are they going to be fashionable? Are they going to be fashionable?
No. Here's what I plan on doing.
Are going to wear like something nice in black?
I think that the fashion fight should just be a completely regular match with a bunch of intricate rules regarding what you can and can't wear. Like
they get disqualified.
And then after the match, when they beat us, we say, actually, the decision is reversed because Brody's wearing white tube socks. And that is clearly against the rules.
There's like 5 judges. There's like 5 judges sitting ringside.
We wanted it. We were like, please let us have judges.
Yeah, we want judges like the Ring of Honor Pure match where they have like guys.
Oh my god!
And we announced that it's a fashion fight, and in the event of a time limit draw, the judges will determine the winner based on who has nicer gear.
What did you say, Dijak?
I said I like that booking because you guys go down technically with a W in the record books, but then they beat the ever living dog shit out of you and obviously look way stronger.
It's a win-win.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Doesn't get better than that.
What city is it in? What city is it in?
Chicago.
So it's the Chicago collection, you know, whatever the fashion is of the area, you know.
What is the Chicago style? Is it just wearing
I don't know,
hot dogs?
Anything. I fucking know from Chicago.
I guess Kanye is from Chicago.
Is he?
Yeah,
like
famously.
Oh shit!
There's already a pay-per-view this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right after All In. Yeah. It's you know, that's why they call it the old All In, All Out.
I bet the old. That's my favorite. That's my favorite line from Clockwork Orange.
Better the all in, all out.
In and out, the old in and out. Yes.
Is it designed?
Actually, talking about raping. Yeah, lovely.
Is that the general idea? Is that it's supposed to be like a 2-tier, like here's the big one and then here's the aftermath, like Backlash was supposed to be like part of WrestleMania.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah,
makes sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, All In, because you go in and then
You go
go
out.
out.
And then after that
yeah,
is
yeah.
the baby.
That's why it's called revolution.
Revolution
I guess.
Because what is birth but a revolution of
of the
an
soul.
infant out of your body revolting.
Oh my God.
We're very clearly losing the plot here, Brennan. Maybe we should say goodbye.
Goodbye, chat. You don't have to wait very long. We'll be back Wednesday.
11:30 Eastern.
Yep, Dijak, where are you going to be this week? Damo, where are you going to be this week?
Oh, I don't care.
He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
I like his style.
House of Glory on Thursday in Chicago. Maybe I'll see you there.
Piggybacking off of us, huh?
Probably. I don't pay attention, but I do end up weirdly around AEW pay-per-views all the time.
If it makes you
But
feel
there's
better, we tried to get booked there and they didn't want us. So I hope that's some solace.
Why don't they
And
want us, man?
then Saturday
You
night I'm
alright?
in Washington State, which I'm not looking forward to that flight. But
Oh, that's going to be a long
it's
one.
called Vegas.
Sorry, my dog needs to pee, boys. I need to go. Love and
See you,
kisses,
Damo.
everybody.
I love you.
Thanks for joining us.
Night, Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Big Mac's the dog. And Princess, what's the other
Princess
one?
Carolyn. Or Sabrina.
Oh no,
Teenage
it's
Mutant.
Princess Sabrina. Oh, Princess Sabrina.
Princess
Sabrina.
Sabrina. You know what? Do you know what my favorite part of Princess Sabrina is? Her
What?
middle name.
What is
Her
it?
middle name is Boring.
Classic.
No.
Now it's just me and Mansoor, and Mansoor's gonna leave. Let me find somebody to raid. I hope you had fun. I hope you
Who's
enjoyed
up?
us being. Oh, you're still here.
Who's next up?
What? Oh, who's the
Who's
next
next
up?
up?
Let's see. Let's look at the Twitch app.
Your friend Patrick.
Yeah, I could raid Pat.
Are there any wrestlers?
Not that I see.
Chat. Any wrestlers streaming?
You know any wrestlers? Otherwise, we're gonna raid Pat. Oh, Princess Sabrina.
Oh, Princess Sabrina. All right. I got it all set up. I'm going to be on a computer next time we stream.
Wow, it's gonna be big. You should be, because we need to be professional.
Oh, yeah,
on
because we're
Wednesday.
actually getting paid. Yeah. Would be very unprofessional to just do it on my phone.
Tell them Brennan sent ya.
Bye.
Bye.